Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Brevet.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone. Good luck to you in the Jeopardy round. For this game, the categories are as follows. Inti Fresh. Museums. How's the weather? This and that. Top 40 hitmakers. And American history. Player one. Cue or die. Okay, player one. That is correct. Player one. A thin piece of rigid material to maintain a body part in a fixed position. It's player one. No, sorry. The correct response is a splint. You get to pick a short race at full speed. Yes, player one? Yes, you've got some money again. You get 5-letter word for gleaming brightness or luster. Here's the correct response. Glint. Player one. To look with the eyes partly closed. Okay, player one. Correct. Selecting. The great men of France, circa 1780, are immortalized in the Grand Homme Gallery of this museum. Here's the response we were looking for. The Louvre. Please. The highlight of Argentina's National History Museum in this city is Candido Lopez's historical canvases. Here's the correct response. Buenos Aires. Player one. Me to start us off.
New York's Museum of Modern Art exhibits paintings that feature this technique in which tiny dots of color seem to blend together.
Here's the correct response. Pointillism. Works by Titian, Raphael, and others, sold by the USSR to Andrew Mellon, became the core of this D.C. museum. Here's what we were looking for. The National Gallery of Art. Player one. The Athenaeum in Hartford, Connecticut bears the name of this founder. No relation to Longfellow. The correct response is Daniel Wadsworth. Player one. September 4th, 2007 was the first time that two of these, Henriette and Felix, made landfall on the same day. Let's hear it, player one.
Yeah!
That is correct. Mountain passes speed up hot, dry air, giving this U.S. state its Santa Ana winds. Player one. No, sorry. Here's what we wanted. California. We return. It's the Daily Double. You are in the lead right now. What'll it be? The clue. The forecast is cloudy with a 30% chance of these, characterized by the sudden start and stop of light rainfall. Good. Player one. High clouds may bring this type of damaging precipitation, especially to the alley for it in the Rockies. Player one? Yep. You get longer autumn nights, let the ground cool, producing condensation, and the ground type of this. Let's hear it, player one. Yep. Player one. In September of 1916, during World War I's Battle of the Somme, the British rolled out this new weapon? Yes, player one? You got it. Please. Officially adopted in 1919, the Polish flag is made up of red and this color, just like Switzerland's. Here's the correct response. White. Select. New York City Mayor John V. Lindsay quipped that it enables young ladies to run faster, and because of it, they may have to. Here's the correct response. The miniskirt. Player one. Shooting this while surfing is riding with part of the wave overhead surrounding you. Here's the response we were looking for. The curl. Player one, and I'll hand it off to Kelly.
In suburban planning, green space created by curved streets and houses with varying setbacks is called this. Also, a small sheltered bay.
We're talking about a cove. Player one. 12:30. Young girls are coming to the canyon. And California dreamin'. Here's what we wanted. The mamas and the papas. You get Brother Love's Traveling Salvation Show and Sweet Caroline. Here's the response we were looking for. Neil Diamond. You again. What would you say? And Crash Into Me. Here's what we were looking for. The Dave Matthews Band. We read Saturday Night Special and woo, Free Bird. Here's what we were looking for. Leonard Skinnard. Select again. Harry Truman and 25 or 6 to 4. Here's what we were looking for. Chicago. Player one. This famous transaction in 1803 doubled the territory of the U.S. Yes, player one? Yes.
Yeah! Woo!
Player one. In the 1760s, he and Charles Mason used milestones to mark the boundary line between Maryland and Pennsylvania. Let's hear it, player one. No, that's not right. Here's what we wanted. Jeremiah Dixon. Player one. The Watergate scandal led to the resignation of this U.S. president in 1974. It's player one. Yep. Player one. In the 1830s, some 4,000 members of this Indian tribe died during a forced march known as the Trail of Tears. It's player one. Yes. Let's have a look at the $1,000 clue. Reconstruction refers to the period of readjustment and rebuilding after this war. It's player one. Correct. The Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Let's see what happens in Double Jeopardy with these categories awaiting the players. P is for physics. The movie of the song. Very, very good. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. Historic Munich. And I want to be... All right, it's the P in P equals force times velocity. Player one?
Yeah.
That's it. Player one. This element, Pu, was first detected in a cyclotron at Berkeley in 1940. Here's the correct response. Plutonium. Player one. A cube is an example of a rectangular one of these. A Pink Floyd cover displays a triangular one. Let's hear it, player one. Good. Player one. The bob of a simple one of these moves with simple periodic motion. Here's what we were looking for. A pendulum. Player 1. It's an elementary light particle, also called a fuzzy ball. The correct response is a photon. Player 1. Lose Yourself, 2002. Here's the correct response. 8 Mile. A Whole New World, 1992. Here's the correct response. Aladdin. Let's Hear It for the Boy, 1984. The correct response is Footloose. Player 1. Zippity-Doo-Dah, 1947. Here's what we were looking for. Song of the South. Player 1. Papa, Can You Hear Me, 1983. The correct response is Yentl. Player 1. Dawes Butler voiced this animated TV hound. Player 1. Good.
Yeah!
Player 1. These Are Forever in a top 10 hit from 1967. We're talking about Strawberry Fields. We return. Answer. The first of the daily doubles. And you're in the lead now. What'll it be? The clue. Pro boxers have been battling under this Marcus's rules since the late 1800s. Here's the correct response. Queensberry. Player 1. Tidal Avenue in Theodore Geisel's first book. Okay, Player 1. You are correct. We read inept policeman in Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. Here's the correct response. Dogberry. Player 1. Associated with unicorns, the Qilin of this large country's pantheon visits when philosophers are born. We're talking about China. Player 1. Aye, aye, Odysseus. You want a blind Polyphemus, one of these. We, your captive crew, totally have your back. It's Player 1. Good. Player 1. Answer. The other daily double. And you're in the lead now. How much? Answer. Shadowfax, a horse of Rohan, was untamed until approached by this wizard. Correct. Please. Bully for Theseus, who killed this bad two-legged monster that ate sacrifices in a Cretan maze. Here's the response we were looking for. The Minotaur. Player 1. Chiron, one of these four-legged mythical creatures, was good. He taught Jason and Achilles. Here's the response we were looking for. Centaur. Select again. On Munich's coat of arms, you'll find one of these religious figures who originally settled the city and gave it its name. The correct response is a monk. You get Munich's motto used to be Die Weltstadt mit Herz, the world city with this. Here's the response we were looking for. Heart. Player 1. In 1634 and 1635, this deadly contagion devastated Munich, killing more than 1/3 of its residents. Let's hear it, Player 1. Right you are. Player 1. The Summer Olympics in Munich in this year were sadly marred by terrorism and tragedy. The correct response is 1972. Player 1. In the 16th century, Munich was a center of the German phase of this movement against Protestantism. Player 1. No, Here's the correct response. The Counter-Reformation. Player 1. One of these dancers, so I'm practicing my arabesques and pirouettes so I can perform with the Kirov. Here's what we were looking for. A ballerina. Player 1. One of these, from the Greek for star sailor, like John Glenn or Buzz Aldrin. Player 1. Right. Selecting one of these and deal with the health problems of vicunas, pintos, and Great Danes. Player 1. You are correct. Player 1. Like Martin Luther King and the Dalai Lama, and be honored with this humanitarian prize given in Oslo. Let's hear it, Player 1. Correct. And the $2,000 clue? This, from the Greek for straight, and make some big bucks correcting crooked teeth with braces. Yes, Player 1? Good.
Yeah!
You will participate in Final Jeopardy right after this. We're back. The category for Final Jeopardy today is Word History. Please enter your wager. Here you are, players, the Final Jeopardy clue. This term for a deadly substance may derive from the name of a love goddess. What did you say? And that correct response will add... Player 1, congratulations to you.
Woo!
Good game, everyone, and thank you so much for playing.